pretty, but I'm shaking. I'm not happy right now. There he is. He's curious and he's not moving. Hey folks, Martyupnorth. Special video for you guys. This is a trip I've been wanting to do a long time. I've been coming to Carnarvon Lake and these little tarn lakes in Kananaskis for years. And I've always looked at the map and I knew that there was a way to travel from Lake of the Horns over the Continental Divide into BC and then come back in to Alberta by going around Mount Strachan and Mount Muir and then coming by Carnarvon Lake. So that's what this video is about. It's a traverse, very seldom used trail. So hope you enjoy this video. Back in one of my favorite areas, the Highwood River area of Kananaskis. It is Monday, June 22nd, so technically today is the second longest, one of the two second longest days of the year for us here in Canada, and yesterday being the summer solstice. And I'm leaving late at 2:25, but I'm absolutely not worried because I have daylight until about 11 o'clock. So, and my destination today, I have two choices. I'm going to attempt to circuit a loop, hike up. First I'm going to cross the Highwood River, and then I'm going to hike up either to Lake of the Horns and then go through the Wary Gap and then around Mount Strachan and come out at Carnarvon Lake and go down a chain section, which I think is the way I'm going to do this loop. I'm going to do it counterclockwise, because if I do it clockwise, I think the part of the loop that's going to be the obstacle is going to be the actual gap itself. Might be snow there because it's north facing, but we'll see. I'm not stressed. It's something I've never done, but I've always wanted to cross over into BC and hike by those two lakes. So thought today would be the perfect day to do that. I got 2 and a bit days of food. My new Curve 46-liter pack. There's nobody around here. Should be fun. It actually doesn't look too bad. That's Carnarvon Lake tucked in there. Now I'm going behind that. I'm going by that pyramid one, which is Mount McPhail first. This is the usual spot where we crossed for years, but now I can see there's been a trail well established and people are going way up over there and crossing somewhere here because this is impassable right now. Wow, it's flowing fast. Time to put on the river shoes. Not looking forward to this. This is higher than last year when I came with Karen, I think. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Too high. Not doing this alone. Alright, once I go, it's like committing yourself. Because it gets fucking deep. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to find another spot to cross 2 days from now. That was cold. Holy shit. But then 2 days from now, I'm gonna leave my boots on. Because right now I'm crossing with my Crocs and it's slippery and poor footing. But if I cross with my boots on, 2 days from now, I could just cross with my boots on and get soaking wet, and who cares, because I'm 2 kilometers from the truck. But today, I did not want to get my boots wet. Woo! That was intense. Woo! That wakes you up. Holy smoly. Yeah, that was up to the crotch. That was deep. And I still got this side channel here to cross. Woo. This one's downright easy. Relatively. Oh. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Woohoo! The water was high, soaking wet there. I took my cell phone out of my pocket. Good thing. It right at my crotch. It just, you know, the waves hit and come up. But you saw how I did that. So sometimes I go against the current up, but in this case, I could see that the river was, how do I explain it? Getting faster because it was dropping quickly on that side, and there was a bit of a current in the middle where forced by that sandbar, but all I had to do is commit myself and go. You just don't want to hesitate. You hesitate, you fall, you're in trouble. So now I've done this before. Anyways, now I'm just gonna dry my feet and continue my hike. A few minutes after the river crossing, you get to, actually over there is an outfitter camp. And a few minutes after the river crossing, you get to this intersection. That leads to Lake of the Horns, and that leads to Carnarvon. So I'm going to loop that way and come back this way. One, two, three, four, 5 big claws, not retracted, big grizz. The trail is actually so dry that I can't see a lot of footprints in some sections where suddenly I go through a little muddy area. There's lots of deer tracks and moose tracks, but humans are a lot lighter, so it absolutely doesn't look like any humans were here before me recently, although there's a bike trail, but it's a bit dusty, or tire tracks. It's important to stop and take breaks and enjoy the scenery, rehydrate. There's nobody else out here today. That's McPhail. Alright. That pyramid-shaped peak is McPhail. The lake is in there, and you can see there's snow around the lake. And that is the Hill of Flowers. I'd say it's not looking good for getting to the lake. And the lake's only at about 2,200 meters. I need to get over a gap that's 2,400 meters. An old trapper's box. Trail like this got lots of blind corners, you know. So it's important to, hey bear! Just yell out once in a while and give them advance warning. Whoa, never pass up a nice clean supply of water like this. Yeah, that's so good. That doesn't get used too often. This is new. I saw this from a distance and it looked like a bear at first, but I absolutely do not remember that from last year. Alright, so I came from over there. I'm at a junction here, but it's not very visible, but I'm pretty certain that that's the junction that goes up to what's called the Hill of the Flowers. Somebody should mark it, flag it, do something, but it doesn't look used very often. Oh boy, I forgot about this. There's a big beaver dam here. Hopefully it's solid and I can walk all on one side of it. Look at this thing. Massive. I walked all along it. Now I'm on this side. Pretty easy. Whoops. You Americans have the bald eagle as a symbol, which is impressive. But the beaver, now that's impressive. And I'm a professional engineer and I have an engineering stamp. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it here, just show you what it looks like. But my engineering stamp has a beaver. So I think the beaver is a perfect example of engineering. And I think it's a proud Canadian symbol, the beaver. Well, no way to not get wet. I gotta cross. There's the trail. This is all water coming down from the lake. I'm so lazy in a way. I hate getting my feet wet, so I always find a way to skip across. I could have gotten my feet wet because I know for a fact I'm right at my campground, but why bother? Okay, this is the first campsite. And the tent can go there. Nice rock to sit on, nice fire pit, quite a bit of wood around here. There's another campsite there, but first I want to show you this. So the traverse that I'm doing requires that I do 33 kilometers, so 3 10-kilometer days, which is nothing. Right now it's 5:30. I did a 10-kilometer day, and I'm gonna stop because tomorrow I have a 10-kilometer day in an area that I've never been in before, so I don't know what kind of bushwhacking I might be against. So I need to have a full day tomorrow. And right now I could conceivably hike another, you know, hour or so, but I don't know if there'll be a nice campsite, whereas I know there's one here. So I'm just going to stop here for tonight. It is late, it's 5:38, and I have a few things I want to videotape, but I just want to show you where I'm heading tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm climbing that wall, and actually I can tell right now I'm not going to go to the base of that wall because that's not that far and who knows what's over there, but that's where I'm climbing tomorrow. I'm going over that wall and over that to that peak and back down the other side. So the crest over there, there's no snow on this side, which is good, which means there shouldn't be any snow on the other side because the other side is north facing. But I might encounter a lot of water along the way, like this. I'm going to be getting wet tomorrow. Well, that's why I came for it. It's an opportunity to just get away and explore and just be on my own. Please be intact. Please be intact. Holy shit. No, this isn't it. This is it. Is it? Yep. This is where we camped last year. I'm gonna make this into my home again. Whew. Somebody was busy reconstructing everything. That's impressive. Hill of Flowers. So when I'm coming to a site like this, you know, this is random wilderness camping. This is not an established campsite. There's no tent pads, although I've been here before. I need to find a place to put my tent, and so several considerations are important. The first one is I try and of course find a spot that's flat. This isn't flat, although it looks flat. This looks flat, and my tent is small, so I can put it here. The front here is relatively flat. This is flat once I remove this branch. So I think this is where I'm going to put it. And once I found my spot, I'm thinking about what's underneath. Is it rocks or grass? I'm thinking about where the water is going to flow if it rains. Is it in a low spot where it might puddle and pool underneath me? I'm also thinking about where the sun's coming up, because I like to have my tent get hit by the sun first thing in the morning. So, you know, a lot of considerations. So when I look at this spot, I'm going to plant the camera and videotape here, but I'm gonna clear it a little bit because this looks good and it's not too far from the fire, but far enough that sparks and embers won't hit the tent and perhaps damage it. So now, and generally speaking, I'd prefer to be in an area that has water close by. The water's over there by the creek, you know, a couple 100 yards, which is fine, and there's lots of firewood and places to hang food, but I don't have a great field of vision if an animal were to come. But this is a good compromise, so I think I'll put it right here. If it's not perfectly flat, it's fine as long as you know, a slight slope, no more than 5 degrees kind of thing, and I'll put my head up high, but pretty sure this looks darn good. I put on a fleece because I get eaten alive by the bugs. Here's a little trick I do. Take the main part of your tent and I throw it on the ground. You can actually do this after you've set it up, but somehow or other visually gives you a better idea of how flat the ground is once you put this down. So my head goes here, but today I'm going to have to put my head on the other end, and then I lay down on it. This is going to be just fine. This loop is for the stake, and this one is for the fly. So this one will go in like that, and I'll tighten it on the other side. The fly is also color coded, so when you find these corners with the red, that's the front of the tent. So then I just stake it down the guy lines opposite the corner that I stake down, and like anything else, you start loose and you go around and then you tighten everything. So one in. So the price is right. It was not expensive. It was under $300. It is completely waterproof, and one of the things I like is that it is so steep on all sides. There's nowhere where the water can pool. I have other tents that have different slopes and places where water can pool, and water does not pool anywhere, not even at the top here. It runs off absolutely everywhere. Yeah, it's designed for your head to be on this side. Because I'm not with my wife, I can leave the vestibule open. She's paranoid. She's always closing the vestibule. So nothing fancy about the vestibule. You just roll it up. Not a huge vestibule. It just holds a tent, but a pack. But getting in and out of it is actually pretty easy. You just get in sideways like this. You know, beaver cut this poplar down, and a year later it's already growing. Pretty incredible. It's not the only one. Poplar's their favorite food of the beaver. I've encountered bears on this trail twice. First time I was here about 3 years ago, and I was here solo with Tika, and I'll put a card to that video and you can check out the timestamp and go right to it. But coming down from Lake of the Horns, I was making noise and I had a bell on Tika, and Tika was about 20 yards in front of me, maybe a little bit less, and all of a sudden a grizzly bear poked up and looked up at us, and boy did I grab the bear spray quickly. Luckily he just bolted and disappeared, but he was gorgeous. He was cinnamon colored. And then I was camping at that site that time, and he came by again later that night, and made me a little nervous, but reinforced two things. One is bells on dogs and people are insufficient. You need to make a ton of noise. And number two is when you're in an area like this, even when you're just walking around to go get water like this, you gotta have your bear spray. chores are done. Time to take off the boots and put on the camp shoes, which in my case is my Crocs. Oh yeah. Got lots of firewood. There's no shortage of it around here. Unfortunately, it's all crappy dead poplar which burns quickly, but it's plentiful. I prefer a nice spruce or a pine, but these are old mature pines. No dead ones around. Lots of dead poplar, and you can see how the poplar grows back quickly, and the beaver's just gone to town on the poplar.
I didn't even want to reach my camera, which is right there. I grabbed my phone instead because look at the size of this right there. Ground squirrel, or groundhog, or gopher. Richardson ground squirrel. Big sucker. Curious. I'm in his territory. He's looking at me.
Son of a bitch. That big white bear's right here. Fuck. Let me show him to you. See him? Hey, bear! Go away! Hey, bear! Go away! Bad bear, go away! Go away! Shit. Time for a fire real quick. Alright. I'm a bit nervous right now. I'm shaking. Look in my hand. Take the safety off the spray. Hey, bear! Well, he's not cinnamon, he's white. I don't need this aggravation right now.
He's pretty, but I'm shaking. I'm not happy right now. There he is. He's curious and he's not moving.
That's why I didn't like this spot in particular. Like I said, I got too many blind spots. Ah! Hey, bear! Go away! He's right there. You see him? Ah! Rah! 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 Get away! Rah! Shit, am I standing in his food or something? Has he got something here that he wants? He just ran. I don't know if he finally decided, but he's gonna come back. Oh shit, right there. Frick, he's close. I don't know if he moved on or not. I kind of have no choice. I'm gonna have to go investigate and check out over there. You know, and I mean, I said I've been here before. There's been bears before. This is prime grizzly bear habitat. We're in this just below the alpine. There's avalanche slopes everywhere. They're looking for carrion dead animals that got, you know, swept in avalanches and things like that. So he's being opportunistic right now. Humans come here frequently, so he might not be entirely scared of humans. He's not that big. And I said it before, I so rarely have incidents with bears in camp. You know, it's you meet him on the trail when you surprise him. But what worries me about that one is I screamed and he's not reacting. Not, you know, I should have heard him bolting. He's not gone far. Because if he went crashing after I scared him, you'd hear the thump, 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 but you didn't. So he's just back there. I'll just make the fire big for a while and hang around, and then I'll go look. He's over there now. So he started over there. He walked all the way around, and now I can barely see him, but he's over there. He's heading towards the trailhead, the main trail in the creek. Kind of lets me know that he's not interested in here and he's going around. He was interested in a beaver dam maybe, but now I'm wearing high visibility. I decided to go yellow. You know, one of the things is you make yourself big and visible. I was wearing camouflage green basically, so that's not very smart of me. So now I'm wearing my high visibility yellow rain jacket, and I will walk a bit that way. Guess who doesn't feel like cooking a smoky right now? It's 8:08. He's doing his tour and then he's going to go and lay down somewhere. I mean, they're semi-nocturnal. They don't, he'll go sleep, conserve his energy. Yeah, I found this rope on the ground and I was preoccupied sort of just trying to undo these knots, and then all of a sudden I looked over there and there was a bear and I didn't have a fire going. So now I'm going to keep a bunch of little kindling just in case. So the little kindling I can throw on the fire quickly and spark it up. Because these, like I said earlier, I hate this poplar because the poplar is always sort of wet and doesn't burn nicely. But I'll keep this fire going pretty good. Might be a late night before I go to bed tonight. This is where he was standing. He came from there and then he walked through here. He couldn't see me very well, obviously, so past the time I'm just cutting these smokies and pieces and just cooking them slowly. Take my time. Actually, I'm gonna talk to myself and just make a little bit of noise and the smoke and a few other things, and hopefully he'll just, I mean, it's 8:39, it's been an hour, so I think he's gone now, or she. Hey bear! I'd sure like to see him on the slope. Now, one good thing about this one, not a grizzly, just a black bear, but blonde. It's the one I've seen probably 3 years in a row now, and or one of its offsprings. And the good thing is that he's easy to spot. You know, if he's black, it's a little tougher. It's pretty awesome. I mean, he did what, you know, he came by, he went around, intersected the trail, walked all the way around, and then disappeared. I mean, I think I caught him off guard a little bit, and I definitely think that just wearing this green is not a good idea when confronting him. I'll put on the yellow if he comes around again, and maybe even use it as a flag and wave it. He couldn't see me. I could tell he couldn't see me, or not very well. He could smell me. That's why he went around, tried to get upwind kind of thing. Then he figured out it's big bad Marty. Don't mess with big bad Marty. Now some folks are going to watch that and probably freak out. And that's understandable. But it's a fact of life. I mean, we're in the wild wilderness. There's no guarantees here, and wild animals like bears are definitely uncertain. I'm surprised a bit because there was no, I saw one paw on the trail, and I was quite a ways back, like that was 3-4 kilometers. I didn't see any scat or any other really fresh evidence. Oh my God, that's good. That calms the nerves. Then I'm gonna make myself a tea and I'll be in heaven. All right, it is 9 o'clock and I gotta go get one more bottle of water. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna sing a French song. Par les sentiers sous le ciel bleu, j'aime à me promener. Le sac au dos, le cœur joyeux, je me mets à chanter. Valdéry, Valdera, Valdéry, Valdera, Valdéry, Valdera, je me mets à chanter. We've had about 3 liters of water so far today. All right, so I tied a rock on the end of the rope, and I managed to get it on the first try. So now I'm gonna hoist my food bag. Just a simple bowline. Got a carabiner. Attach the carabiner to the bag. Hoist the bag up. That's better. High enough. Somebody else had a yellow rope there, but it's caught, so that'll work. Raccoon can't get to it. Well, there's no raccoons here. Porcupine can't get to it. Bear can't get to it. A red sky at night is a sailor's delight. And a red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. It has something to do with cloud cover and light diffraction and things like that. So if you have a light sky at night, red sky, it's a good thing. The forecast for tonight calls for 14 degrees Celsius, which is very warm for this time of year and for the mountains. Usually when the skies are clear like this, then all the heat from the day quickly escapes up and it gets cold. So it might still get cold a little bit. And you got to be careful with forecasts. The forecast in town nearby is never quite the same as the forecast in the mountains. I always subtract about 5 degrees. So I'd say it might be 9 or 10 degrees tonight. But I'm not worried one bit. I'm going to sleep very well in terms of temperature. I'm going to sleep well. I always do. It's a nice setup. I was here last year in August with Eric and Karen and Chef Evan. It was the first time I hiked with Evan. Pretty cool day. I took a from home I went to towards Banff, and then I went down Highway 40 past the Kananaskis Lodge and the Kiska Ski Hill, and then through the Highwood Pass, and then came down here. Normally I come in from Longview. I go south of Calgary through Turner Valley, Black Diamond, then Longview, and then come from the east. But I'm going to go back out that way, so I'm driving a counterclockwise loop, and I'm hiking a counterclockwise loop. The reason I'm going to go out that way is because there's a little restaurant in Longview, the Twin Motor Hotel or whatever the heck it's called, and I just love their steak sandwich and stuff like that. So I'm going to stop there for a nice lunch on my way out and a beer. And it's more fun to come in one way and go out another. Same with hikes. Interesting day. So I saw a ton of sheep on the road. I didn't even bother videotaping the sheep. I've seen them so many times. The bear was interesting. The big squirrel over there is interesting. Tomorrow's going to be a fantastic day. I'm calm now. I'm fed. Calm. I'm not worried that the bear's gone. That's no big deal. Just going to pause for a second and just listen. So over that way, I can hear the waterfall, the water coming off of Lake of the Horns and coming down. And then over that way, I can hear the creek from the lake and the beaver dam. And if you listen, you'll hear the birds. The birds are a little harder to hear right now. And I think it's because I was talking, which is another good point. When trying to figure out where the bear is, the birds will suddenly be quiet when a large animal or a human goes by. And so when you hear birds in the distance all the time, then you know things are good. Here, I'll stop again, see if you can hear the birds. Probably just hearing the wind. Trust me, there's birds and the bats are out now, so that'll take care of the flies or the mosquitoes. So now it is 10:24, the day after the summer solstice, so we got lots of light. I got a little bit more light, and I think tonight's a full moon. But I'm ready to go to bed, so I'm gonna just sit here, let this fire die down a little bit. I got some juice left to drink. and I'm bringing one granola bar into my tent, and I got some water for tea tomorrow, and should be good. So, bear spray close to my head, water bottle, my pillow, my sleeping bag. My backpack is under the awning. Rain jacket, miscellaneous pouches, and that's it. You know, just habits. Make sure things are exactly in the same place all the time. So in the middle of the night, if I need to find something, I can find it quickly. The most likely thing I'll need is a bit of water if I wake up thirsty. I got a granola bar if I wake up hungry. A little bit of food. You know, at about 3 in the morning, I always sort of wake up, and if I eat a quick little snack, then I go back to sleep. It's something to do with the metabolism. Otherwise, bear spray close at hand, and I'm just going to change into some fleece pants, take off this shirt, take off my glasses, and go to bed. All right, folks, good night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.